Welcome to this lesson. In our last lesson, we looked at the step 3 of drawing on a canvas, that is actually drawing on it. We looked at the move to and line to methods, and then the stroke style property, and then finally the stroke method. And we drew a red colored line on our path, alright? But we've just drawn one line, that is one stroke. So what if you want more than one line, like a path? So for example, you want to create shapes. You want a line that's like this, something like that. So for that, you need to create a path, alright? Let me show you how that works. Alright, so let me delete all of this because we won't be using it. So multi-line path. Alright, so that's what we'll be creating now. See, other than a single line, if you want to draw anything else at all in a canvas, you need a begin path and a close path method to enclose your entire diagram. Okay, so for every shape you draw, you need a begin path and a close path method. Alright, so the draw codes would be within these two function calls for each shape. So let's first create that begin path where the P is capital, and then two braces and finally a semicolon, and then similarly we'll call our context close path and give a semicolon for that as well. So this would be our first shape. So if you want another shape, another polyline, then you need to create another begin path and close path as well. If you don't create different begin paths, if you don't begin a path whenever you create a new shape, then your old shape and your new shape would get meshed up. Alright, so you don't want that. You want them to stay separate. So for that, when you create a new path, start it with begin path, okay, and end it with close path. So the draw codes will be within these two. So for that, first of all, I'm going to be moving the draw pointer to the position 100, 100. So first of all, I'm going to be using the move to function, the context.moveTo function, because I'm just drawing lines here. Alright, so even though it's a path, it's still lines. So first of all, I'll be moving the pointer to the position 100, 100, and from there, I'll be asking my context to create an outline to 200, 200. So it's a straight line. So line 2 to 200, 200. So right now we have a outline from 100, 100, which is probably somewhere here, I think, and 200, 200. Sorry, it's probably somewhere here, 200, 200. Alright. So after that, I'm going to be sending the pointer back to 100, 100. So after I create an outline from 100, 100 to 200, 200, I'll be sending the pointer back to 100, 100. Alright. Why, you'll see in a minute. So sending the pointer back to 100, 100, because now I want to draw a line from 100, 100 to 100, 200. So a horizontal line from here to here, something like that. Alright, so ctx.line to 200, 200. Finally, let me add the stroke function to let our context know that we want to stroke along these outlines. Alright, so that's the 4 lines of code. It started with 100, 100 point, and then we drew a line to 200, 200, and then we sent the pointer back to 100, 100, and then we drew a horizontal line to 200, 200. So let's see what we get right now. So I haven't specified a stroke style property here, so it's going to be black color. I obviously made a mistake here because I'm not getting my output. Alright, so what is it? Stroke. Never miss anything here. In JavaScript, if you miss something, you won't get the output you want. So there's an error because I haven't mentioned stroke. I just wrote stroke or something like that. Alright, now I should be getting my output. Alright, we've got our output now. So the point was at 100, 100 first, and then we moved to 200, 200. So 200 in X and 200 in Y, which is this point. So we got a diagonal line, and then we asked our pointer to move back to 100, 100, and then draw 100 in X and 200 in Y, which is a straight line, a vertical line. Alright, so we have our path right now. Alright, so now the pointer is at 100, 200. Okay. So that's how you draw polylines in canvases. Now you can actually expand on this particular path. Alright, you can expand on it and complete your shape. Maybe you could create a triangle because it looks almost like a triangle right now. So how do you do that? So right now our pointer is at 100 to 100. So we have to just create a line from 100 to 100 to 200, 100. So ask another line to go to 200, 200. So you don't have to create another move too because it is already at a point where we want it to be. Alright, so we can directly create a line 2 like this, and then when you save it, let's refresh. Look here, we have a perfect triangle because we created a path that specified all the correct coordinates and all the correct lines. Alright. So this is not the only way to draw this path. Actually, you can make it much simpler. I can actually show you now. I'll create another path. Okay, second path. I actually went about a roundabout way here. Alright, so there are 5 lines of code. But you don't have to do that. You can make it much simpler. So let me first move to 300, 300. And then let me ask a line to be drawn to, let's see, so 300 is somewhere here, and then I want it to be drawn to 300, 400, sorry, 300 would be somewhere here, 300, 400, okay, 300, 400, and then from 300, 400 I can ask another line to be drawn to 400, 400, okay. Let's see what we have so far. Okay, first of all, let me mention my stroke. And then let me add begin path and close path right here. So a new path is created. Let's see what we have so far. See, we have an almost triangle now, and we can create another line that closes off the triangle back to 300, 300. So if you can see here, I actually saved on one line of code, okay, because I just drew a path right along the triangle's shape. So that's an easy way to do it. See, great. Now, so as you know already, you can give stroke style to, let's say, any color you want to change the color of your path or shapes from the default black to the color you want. But let me show you. So it's now green color, but there is also another way to do it. Instead of stroke here, let me comment it out. You can actually fill the whole thing. So instead of stroke, if you say fill, you'll fill the whole path. So since we haven't decided on a color yet, it would be black color. So stroke is basically drawing on the outline you create. So fill is basically painting inside that outline. So let me show you. Let's refresh. See, it's painted inside. Instead of drawing, it actually painted inside with black color. But if I were to give a fill style just like stroke style, which basically mentions the color you want, then let's see. See, I have a rectangle with red color filled in. Sorry, red triangle. I'm mixing up my shapes. Alright, so that's how you can play around with your paths, create multiple shapes you want with lines, and then you can color them the way you want or outline them the way you want, and so on and so forth. In the next lesson, let's look at how to draw circles, because with these lines you can only create paths that require lines, but circles don't have lines, okay? They are curves. They have arcs. Am I right? So in the next lesson, let's look at how to create those arcs. See you there. Thank you.